Uh, uh, Hello everyone, everyone, and welcome to the today's matchup. Where we have Hellcat versus Stars, and we are joined with Lolzy.
Hello. This is going to be very exciting. I've just come off of commentating a finals matchup between, I think it was Victory and So in Uvia, at least. So probably not going to be at like the creme de la creme, like top commentary performance, but I'm excited to see what I've gone store because it's definitely going to be quite a different experience for me. Since this tournament in general, I've been keeping an eye on it, and it is full of lower tier players, players who may not have like the most experience in competitive, but I'm excited to see what these teams will bring out, and yeah, I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, this tournament is usually aimed for players who just want to practice getting into the competitive here. So we might not see the highest tier gameplay, but what I definitely want to see is close battles between two teams. Maybe be even going into round 3 here. So we are waiting for the players to get in here now. For round 1, there are few maps that we could expect to be picked, such as Ever Sleeping Town, Leo's memory, or something like Moonlit. Those 3 maps are most commonly picked maps, usually in competitive, because they are larger maps, and they are not really one-sided maps. They have their own strengths, and they also have their own weaknesses. For example, Moonlit does not have too many strong kiting areas, especially around the first stop and second stop side of the map, but it has a roller coaster, and it is very wide open pen maps. There there are not too many tall walls as well. We could say any maps being picked here, but those 3 maps are the most expected maps to be picked.
Yeah, I do feel like those 3 maps will probably be like the first choice. Although there's a possibility we could see an arms factory if the team in question does really want to pick a map like that. But because of how balanced it is, you don't typically see it in like a round 1 situation. You more or less see a round 2, sometimes round 3. But I imagine these teams will have their own choices and opinions on what maps are best, and same with characters. I've seen a lot of characters being played in this tournament. I know there's actually been some teams who have more or less stuck to the meta when it comes to survivors. It's the hunters that really have like shown up, if anything, where they've played essentially anybody that they want to. I mean, we've seen Percy, we've seen Mad Eyes, we've seen, I think, has there been a Nightmare in this tournament?
Uh, I don't actually know. Mm, uh, yeah, actually, there was one player who played in the Nightmare, and he got pretty
Mm.
good results.
Yeah, and again, we've also had the fair share of meta as well from the Hunter side. With these two teams, TKC and Stars, I don't know much about Stars, but I know a little bit about TKC. My team that I managed scrimmed against them. I think it was a lot. It was like just before my VT, and they're not a bad team. I think the main question for them is, how well can that Survivor side do? Again, I don't know who their main hunter is, but from what I remember, they're a pretty good side, pretty good in round one, especially when it comes to hunter side. But sometimes, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I'm gonna add them real quick. But yeah, as I was saying, I think round one will definitely be their strongest point. It's going to be interesting to see how they do round 2 and 3, because that's where a lot of the newer teams start to like really drop off in terms of, I wouldn't say quality, but in terms of experience, they will drop off in terms of momentum. Where, even if they do have a lead, sometimes they might get a little complacent because of the fact they're in the lead, and they might drop off here and there. But at the end of the day, this is practice for every single team here, who may not get practice anywhere else because of the fact they might be of a lower tier, or because of the fact they're not an established name. So this is essentially their chance to show the people what they're made of, and who knows, maybe some of these players from these teams might get picked up by a stronger, and more well-known team. And that's essentially what the tournament's all about. I think it'll definitely be interesting to see what these players can come up with.
Yeah. So it looks like round one map pick is going to be Chinatown. Usually a very hunter-sided maps. Map because there are lots of breakable windows there, and most palettes on this map are quite weak. It's very easy for the hunter to go around, and that allows lots of hunters to be very strong on this map. Hunters like wax artist, hunters like clown, hunters like opera singer are quite strong on this map. However, there are also some survivors that work very well on this map, such as the toy merchant, such as the patient, such as the fire investigator as well. So we could really see anything here, and it looks like Team Cat is going to be surviving first. No. Team Cat is going to be hunting first, and Team Stars is going to be surviving first. So I am excited to see what's going to happen here. What is the Stars Hunter going to go with here?
Well, I'm gonna check quickly if they've got anything in the good old battle unit. Nah, Evan's gone. Okay, cool. Yeah, as expected. So from what I can imagine, I'm just looking at the medal wall, because it's like the closest thing I can do. They do have sculptor medals, so maybe they might be a sculptor player. Sculptor is not typically the greatest on this map, just because it is so open and it's very easy to dodge the sculptures. But if that is the play they're going for, then if TKC know this, then they could probably go for I mean, they could go for anything, really. They could go for something like a psychologist or maybe perfumer if they really, you know, absolutely want to. But in all honesty, I'm not sure what the Stars Hunter could go for here. I'm interested to see what the survivors will do, though, considering that by the looks of things, it does. I mean, it does seem like 2 mammoths, 1 griffin, 1 alicorn. Okay, so overall, like, I mean, I am just basing this off of the ranks. Just like it does look like, you know, a more lower level team, but so does the Stars Hunter. You know, with Saber 3. So again, I'm not entirely too sure what to think at this moment in time, but I am really interested to see what type of characters they are able to pick here. I would like to see maybe like a forward, like a really good forward gameplay is always fun to watch.
Yes, yeah. TKC survivors usually are like picking the strong fighters first as round 1, such as magician and novelist. So we could see those characters coming out. Hunter instantly banning fire investigator and first officer. Is he going to leave Steer open? I think he is, and he's also going to leave Priestless open. Yeah, so this technically gives TKC chance to go with these strong characters. Priestless is very strong here, but we might just see a magician pick instead, and we could also expect a novelist pick as well, but right now they are thinking about it. Do they go with the no? Looks like they're going to go with the meteorologist. So a meteorologist is usually a very consistent survivor, just because you can use her for a lot of things. You want to heal your teammate? Yeah, a meteorologist can do that. You want support? She has support as well. She can also fly up into the air, which makes her very strong in certain areas as well. And it looks like Hunter is going with a psychologist ban, and it looks like survivors are locking in Puppeteer. So technically this is a little bit risky, because Puppeteer is mostly a counter pick survivor. He's very strong, but there are quite a few hunters that can counter him. So it looks like Hunter is banning the knight, and survivors are going in with the wildling.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't take Priestess at all, considering like if it is a sculptor player, Priestess actually would do really well here. In terms of setting up like global support portals, you know, just regular support portals. Like you said, yeah, it looks like they're going for pure chitin for like the first 3 at the very least, and then wildling being their choice of rescue. Not a bad decision against a sculptor. I would have liked to see a gravekeeper maybe to maybe take that role instead, but maybe they have a plan in mind. But yeah, it's all about what the hunter picks here. I mean, Goatman, Hollow is still available if they do decide to play meta. Sculptor wouldn't do too bad against this comp, except the survivors can just pull away so quickly, and Sculptor can only really like well, Sculptor essentially would have to bring insolence here. I think. I'm not entirely too sure, but if it is that Sculptor, then yeah, they probably would have to bring that insolence, but it looks like they're going to be selecting the Hunter now, as they've got roughly 10 seconds to decide. I imagine... Oh, it's going to be... Oh, Ivy? Okay, that's interesting. Ivy is a very interesting pick for a couple of reasons. So, the wildling actively counters Ivy in the sense that even if you get the full scare on board, it does nothing to the wildling. It just uses it on board instead. Magician really good against the Ivy. Puppeteer also really good against Ivy. Meteorologist he's the weaker target here. They should probably go after this Meteorologist because all the Meteorologist can do is use the clouds to fly away. That's all they can do. They can't harass, they can't do anything else, otherwise they will just get scared and will get hit instantly. So I do expect the Ivy to chase after this Meteorologist first, only because of the fact that they are the weakest. And yeah, they're going to be putting the weakest chase in. Oh, I would have. Are they spawning alley? Are they not like where they're spawning?
Yeah.
I have no idea where they're spawning. No idea. Okay, yeah, okay, I think that's a correct decision, to be honest. I think going with the L4 formation. I would have actually liked to see Magician on top rather than the Puppeteer, simply for the fact that Puppeteer, yes, he can transition kite away from there pretty smoothly with his puppets, except that the wands are just better for transitioning. They give you a nice speed boost, they will give you a nice body block in case you do get that, and yeah, the Ivy's just gonna spawn on top of the Meteorologist and next to, well, they're gonna spawn an alley. I think, how would I play this? Because I play Ivy a lot, and the main chase probably is this Meteorologist. I would probably leech onto the Puppeteer, then just run through the entire midsection of the map, just so you can start leeching, and then when you leech your main two, which is going to be that Puppeteer and Wildling Cypher, you can then start to use the Yithian to get a scare onto Meteorologist, then get the leech, then maybe get the hit, and then if you have the blink available, then yeah, get the blink down, or get just a regular hit depending on how far you are. So it is going to be interesting to see how they do, and looks like Meteorologist is actually going to get it's actually going to have Flywheel, and it's going to be double tied.
Yeah, so Ivy could get a very strong start here. Both Meteorolist and the Puppeteer kinda da struggle against Ivy, just because Meteorolist cannot really use a wind to push the Hunter back consistently, because you have to look at the Hunter to push back just for 1 second, and that risks the Meteorolist of getting scared. It looks like he decided to have the main body go after Puppeteer, and no, main body is in the middle, pressuring Wildling.
Oh no!
Knocks him off the board, and this looks like an instant down. It looks like Wildling did not really expect that. Yeah, he's just going to glitch the Wildling, gets the stun and gets the knockdown instantly. There is no cipher progress done at all. So very unexpected start here. Here, and I will doing a very good job knocking the Wildling off the board. However, there is a risk of a rebound kite, because Wildling is very good at rebound kiting. He can just get on the board, and it becomes very difficult for Ivy to chase the Wildling. So I was technically still have a chance.
Yeah, I mean that was a really quick down. And it looks like they are going to get the rescue onto the Wildling, but they constantly. Oh my god, that was so close. But yeah, now they're just going to get the blink hit onto the Magician. Magician will go down. You know what? They might just. I think they might as well just chair the Magician when they can, because if they keep on following this Wildling, the Wildling does get off the board, then I believe. Oh, they actually brought Trump Card. They didn't even bring detention. So this is actually really good for the Ivy. But it looks like they're going to keep the Magician down. I think they should have chaired. I think you need to apply pressure even as an Ivy. And now, obviously, the Wildling is off their board. And now, yeah, running into the Hunter. Not going to notice it until right about now. And yeah, there's nothing. Oh. Okay, now they're going to get down. Okay. So Again, I do think they should share the magician first. Yeah, it would have been a free rescue, but that is it's a better decision than to leave them down. But magician is going to focus on the cipher now, as I believe it is the puppeteer that is actually going to make their way. I don't think they should rescue, only because the boar isn't. I mean, actually, the boar is up, but like, there's not much they can do. Oh, they're actually
No,
going to teleport away. That's very unfortunate, and they teleported to the wrong. Well, what's it called? The wrong thingy.
Astrakhan,
Yeah, the wrong. Yeah, Ostcon. And now, can they? Oh, I don't know why they're not hitting. I think they should be doing damage. Salty, I think that is a bit of a misplay from Salty. You need that extra damage. You know where the oh, could have. Oh no, well they're still on board anyways. It doesn't really matter. Now they're gonna get the hit onto the Wildling. Good. I think it's good they're getting the downs, but you're also slowly losing momentum by allowing the puppeteer to not get a free hit, by allowing the ciphers to slowly reach their way up. As Wildling is going to be sent back to the manor, they're going to be looking for this puppeteer here, as it looks like everyone is spread out trying to figure out where to go next. Magician still essentially near death, and now we're going to be seeing the meteorologist wrong Ostrakon again, and this is a bit of a. I mean, starting to lose a lot of control that they previously had in the first half of this matchup, and yeah, I mean, if the meteorologist can perform a really good kite here, then that'll be really good. But yeah, meteorologist, is wise to it. Oh, can't get the. Oh, are they gonna?
Yeah.
Okay, they got the pushback. Oh, gets a pushback off. Nice one.
Yeah, so Meteorolist was able to get the pushback here. Survival was actually how all four ciphers with a very big progress. So it will be very difficult for Ivy to pressure all the ciphers. I was able to use the scare here. Does get the hit, and now Ivy actually has max presence, and she has a chance to down the Meteorolist. But she's going to pressure the ciphers. Teleports parts on the puppeteer, gets the stun. Puppeteer cannot use the puppet form because he was stunned, but now he has nothing really, and it looks like Ivy has decided to bring trump card and the detention. So now she has a teleport here, so she cannot really blink the survivors. She has to use their max presence to down them, or she could just use the Astrakhan to trap Meteorolist and get the knockdown. And this is going to be very difficult for the survival force because they can't really heal either. Puppeteer is very bad when it comes to the healing, so they just straight up have to go for the rescue on 1 health. And Puppeteer does not even have a puppet form. He's on a cheap hit right now. So what is the survivor's plan? What are they going to do? I'm expecting them to have the puppeteer decode the cipher machine, just because his Astrakhan is on a cooldown. But look at this. Ivy is pressuring both of them. Them catching survivors into a terrible spot, and the magician using the wand, trying to hit the magician while he was invisible. But now Puppeteer is going for the rescue. He might get stunned. He's gonna break the Astrakhan just now, but he will be able to get the rescue because the Astrakhan was on a cooldown there, and will be able to stun the Puppeteer and get the knockdown. But they do have a chance to tie this game, as they will be able to prime the Cipher machine.
Yeah, gonna get the Cipher Machine primed here, and I mean the meteorologist has to come in now. Like they can't. The what magicians should do. Magicians shouldn't even be. Shouldn't even be anywhere near it. And that's just a free scare. That's they actually misses the scare. Okay, so they do have a chance here. They need to essentially double up on the rescue here. That's what they need to do. Can they get the pop? Yes, they can. Will be getting that. And again, this is what I was saying earlier about before. When not getting those earlier hits, you need to get those earlier hits to gain that pressure a lot early on, because they've lost a lot of the momentum that they previously had, and the survivors have done really well to gain that momentum back, doing both gates. And I mean, this is where it gets very tricky for the what's it called? I think that was just outside of the gate. I think they could actually still do the gate. Yeah, they could. They actually could still do the gate if they absolutely needed to. And I imagine what we'll see is, I mean, I think they should have kept the blink. I think the blink would have been a lot more useful here than the teleport, since they don't have an easier way of getting the survivors down. Granted, everyone is still injured, and magicians are going to get caught out for no reason, and that's a down on the magician.
Yeah, it looks like my magician really wanted to get an item from the chest, but instead Hunter just found him and straight up walked up to him and got the knockdown. So now this puts survivors into a weaker position, because there is a ghost on the cipher, and Meteor is going to heal herself here, and that could actually be a strong play because the detention will run out in 30 seconds. Puppeteer is going to steal the rescue, but he is going to go down because of it. However, Meteorolist could open the gate. Oh wow, she accidentally runs into the Hunter, but using the flywheel was able to survive. Very important flywheel there. She might be able to kite out the detention. It's going to be very close. She has pallets to work with, but they're quite weak pallets. She can't even look at the Hunter. 3 seconds, and looks like Hunter will be able to get the knockdown on the last second of the detention. So the rain did not actually matter here, it looks like, and that's actually very good for the Hunter. Puppeteer heals up, uses the puppet from the last second. So now this turns the game around again. It's a very unpredictable game. We are seeing a lot of pro gameplay here, and a Puppeteer using the wand. Yeah, he can no longer down the Puppeteer, but he does have a teleport, and it looks like he's going to use the Astrakhan teleport, and that means he does not have a max presence anymore, so it will be difficult for him to get the knockdown. And there are so many Astrakhans here, survivors will really struggle opening that gate, and a magician is just pushing it. So I was going to use a normal teleport because the Astrakhan teleports all are on cooldown, and he will be able to get the magician here. However, the ghost is here, and there is a rock on the other side of the gate, but it's going to be broken now, I believe. But Puppeteer is hiding right in front of the Hunter. He's thinking of going for the rescue with the puppet form here, and Hunter spots him out, uses the Astrakhan on him. Actually, no, he's going to go push the gate here, I think, but this could be difficult for the Puppeteer to reach the gate. Using the teleport here, and yeah, I think Puppeteer will be able to make it to the rescue. He's trying to stun the Puppeteer, trying to wait out the puppet form. It's going to be very close, and yeah, looks like Puppeteer was able to get out. So very good job from both sides.
Yeah, very good job from the Hunter at the beginning of the game. Very good job from the survivors to actually gain back that momentum when it all looked essentially like a 4K, right? I mean, it was honestly one of the quickest downs I've seen from an Ivy in like any tournament, especially onto a Wildling as well, which is kind of surprising that the Wildling didn't realize. But I don't know if the Wildling was looking back or not, or maybe they were thinking they were still on Yithian. I'm not entirely too sure, but again, brilliant job from the survivors to read the situation, read the fact that, I mean, again, this is what I will say: you always got to hit like any survivor you can hit, because there were a couple times where I thought, maybe the Puppeteer should have been hit when they were scared. I understand going for tunneling one target, but you gotta give them a lot of damage as Ivy, and unfortunately that just led into a snowball effect of you keep all three alive at the end of the game, and changing from Blink to Teleport, I think was not the correct decision. I think they should have kept the Blink, and then maybe switch to, if anything, you can switch to Warp, like to act as a Blink. But I do think that they should have kept the Blink up at the very least to get those earlier downs, and yeah, just a little unfortunate from the Hunter side, because it felt like they could have done so much more.
Yes, yeah. So that was a little bit of a fun match. We saw way too many misplaced. That there are way too many many things that should not really have happened. At first, Wildling accidentally got his board cancelled. He looked at the hunter's face for 1 second, and that's exactly when the fear happened. And Ivy used quite a lot of teleports accidentally. Some of them were misclicks, some of them were missteps, but in the end she was able to make up for it, and that game really looked like a tie, but then survivors were able to capitalize on Ivy's mistake and make up for it. So right now we are getting into the next game where stars are going to be playing Survivor, and TSK are going to be playing Hunter. So it looks like he's just going with the straight up Seer and Puppeteer ban. Now TSC Hunter is quite known for his strong Goatman. So I am expecting a Goatman here, and that Puppeteer ban makes sense. He definitely wants to play late Goatman here. He definitely wants to go with the Goatman. And what are the survivors are going to go in response? Do they know that the Hunter is going to play the Goatman? Man, and it looks like they might, because they decided to pick Meteorologist and Gravekeeper, and they are not really the strongest survivors versus says a Goatman. Meteorologist is quite a skill-based matchup. She can kite out the cage, but she has to hit the wind, and with the Goatman going through the cages, it is a little bit difficult for her to aim the wind. It looks like he's banning the Antiquarian, so again a counter pick to the Goatman, and it looks like survivors are going with the Fire Investigator, and that could cause some problems for them against a Goatman, because Fire Investigator is usually good at making distance, while Goatman has a cage to trap the Fire Investigator. He could down him quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, so far, if it is the Goatman, then Barmaid. Oh no, not Barmaid. Barmaid? Okay, this is interesting. Barmaid, I think is fine. I think Meteorologist and Gravekeeper are fine. I would have actually liked to see someone else, like a magician, other than, or even acrobat, right? Like, I feel like Fire Investigator, like, yes, he's good on this map. Yes, he can create distance. But like you said, if the Goatman just cages him off, his balls are absolutely useless. Like, he'll just go to the other side of the cage. So I do feel like maybe they could have saved them up for round 2 if they wanted, to maybe play a map like an Arms Factory, maybe even go on Moonlit if you want to go, even bigger than Chinatown. So I'm interested to see how they're going to play this, but it makes me think that they could maybe be expecting something a little bit different, because Fire Investigator is actually not that bad against Hullabaloo. Definitely better against Hullabaloo than it is against the Goatman. So maybe they might be thinking it could be the Hullabaloo as well, because Hullabaloo, not as strong as Goatman, but can still get 4Ks if they get like a really good early game start. So I'm very interested to see who the Hunter's going to pick here, but I do suspect it'll be the Goatman if they want to go for that 4K here. And yeah, the Goatman, obvious choice, obvious pick. Against a team comp like this, I would probably favor the Goatman here, but if the Fire, Barmaid, or even Meteorologist puts up a really strong kite, then we could possibly see another tie, or maybe even a 3 escape if they play things, you know, essentially like near perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. So Goatman has a lot of very strong chasing targets here. He could chase the Barmaid. Barmaid is quite weak against the Goatman if he has a lot of resentment, because he cannot get the heal in time before the Goatman gets the second cage, just because the Goatman does not really have any cooldowns on the cages. So it looks like survivors are going with the normal spawns, and the hunter deciding to spawn top left. So this actually means that he kinda has to chase a meteorologist, which could be a strong chasing hunter, but if anyone has a chance of doing a 3 cipher kite here out of the kiting survivors, it would be the meteorologist. She has the wind, she has the ability to go up in the sky, potentially kiting out the cage, and he might actually swap straight for the barmaid, but I'm expecting to see a meteorologist chase here.
Yeah, 100%. Probably one of the better chasers, in all honesty. I don't know if the nerf went through in comp mode, where it's like she can only really use 2 of the balls now, but like, yeah, if they do miss the pushbacks, could prove really detrimental to the survivor side, but looks like we're going to be heading into the second half of our first round here. Girthquake needs a 4K to win the game. Well, it needs a 3K to win the game, but you know, they probably want to get the 4K. So we're going to be starting very shortly as now. Okay, cool. So we're going to be seeing the Goatman heading towards the direction of the Meteorologist. Meteorologists already making their way over to the Farpot area, but it looks like they're not going to go instantly for this Meteorologist. They're actually going to go for the Barmaid, an even better chase actually for this Goatman here. Because if the Goatman can catch the Barmaid off guard, oh my god. Anyway, they caught the barmaid off guard already, and they could actually get another cage off here if they possibly can. But they can't, because they can't go through.
Yeah, it looks like he kinda messed up there, was not able to go through the cage, and because of that, Barmaid will be able to heal. So now this is turning kinda in Survivor's favors here, because he does not really have many cages right now. He's going to wait for the cages to come back, and now because Barmaid is on a cheap hit, she should be able to get the knockdown here with the blink, or he could wait for the cage here, but Barmaid actually has a chance to get this heal. It looks like he's going for the cage. Oh no, drops down from the wrong spot, and this means that Barmaid will not be able to get out the cage because of the blink. Was able to get the blink just when the Barmaid was about to get the heal, and yeah, it really looked like Barmaid was going to get the heal, but Goatman denying the heal, was able to blink there. So now 2 cipher machines are about to be popped, and yeah, well, 1 cipher looks to be at 70%, but they do have the 4 cipher as well on 17%. which was the code that they did by Barmaid. Just because he decided to change the target like that, they do have a 4 cipher machine, and it looks like they might be going for an after half rescue here.
Oh, I don't think they should go for an after half. I think that going for an after half rescue is such a it's such a detriment, especially when nicely done from the side of the but that's going to be the last effort onto the barmaid, and I feel like they shouldn't have gone for an after half rescue. I feel like they should have just gone instantly for that rescue. I understand wanting to get ciphers done, but you still need, that possible draw, right? And with the other two ciphers not being like anywhere near done, it's going to be really difficult to, do anything here. As by the looks of things, it is going to be the meteorologist and the gravekeeper both in the same direction. As it's nothing much the Goatman can do here. Though, can they drop the pile down? They can, but it's going to be traded off by a hit, and very unfortunate for Gravekeeper to be But again, they kind of next to one of the not pop ciphers, but one of the prime ciphers, and I just don't think that they should be doing this. They need to head over maybe towards Hotel, because I think if I'm correct, Hotel does not have a basement, right?
Yeah, and Gravekeeper was able to kite quite a while, but he did die on the cipher. It looks like Goatman is playing very aggressive, trying to get the hit, but Meteorolith was able to get a pushback. She might be able to kite out the cage. Oh wow, swings a little bit too early, so he's going to put down a second cage and get the hit. And a Fire Investigator has started a new cipher machine, and this forces Meteorolith to use Rain to heal herself up. However, I don't think Goatman is going to let that happen. He knows where the Meteorolist is. I think he's going to push Meteorolist straight up, and this is going to be very bad for the survivors. Trying to use the cage, does use the cage. Meteorolist using the wind, but actually he dodges the wind by going through the cage, blocks off the Meteorolist, and I was able to get the knockdown. So this is very bad for the survivors now. And what are their plans? What are they going to do now? It looks like Fire Investigator is coming in for the rescue. Now he only has cage for one hit here, so he's going to use that hit on the Fire Investigator, and now he has to wait for Resentment to get the second hit here. And it looks like he's just going to go for the chair straight up. Yeah, this is the best play here, just because he didn't have a cage, and he's going to chair him on top of the cipher. So our Goatman here kind of doing a very good job. It looks like, yeah, survivors cannot really decode any cipher machines. Gravekeeper is on the second floor, but he's not really doing anything right now. He can't really do anything. He can't decode the cipher. He can't go for the rescue. Fire Investigator is hiding, but Goatman now has a lot of cages. If he just sits here on the cipher machine, he should be able to win the game, getting a 3-man or even potentially a 4-man as well.
Yeah, I mean, with the way the game's gone, it does feel like it could end up as a 4-man, especially. They're just gonna cheer the Fire Investigator. They know where the Gravekeeper is, and they could realistically just teleport if they really wanted to. It's not like it's gonna mean anything, but do they know? I mean, they should know where the Gravekeeper is, right? Like, at the very least, it feels like they should know, unless they might be searching for Dungeoneer just in case. Which could give Gravekeeper a bit of time to actually find an item here. I mean, no matter what, the Goatman has won this round. But yeah, going to be running into the Hunter now, and I mean, this is probably going to be a 4K very, very soon. Good, that's going to be the down, and that is going to be the 4K for this Goatman. Team Kitty Cats lead 7-2.
Yeah, very good job from the Goatman here. Was able to completely take the game here. So survivors, they could have tied the game, but they decided to go for the after half rescue strategy, where they go for the after half, they go for one rescue, and that usually allows them to tie the game as well. Plus, the gravekeeper actually managed to get the rescue without getting injured, so that did technically put them into a good tie position. However, they did not really have a lot of cipher progresses, and Goatman, after he managed to get the knockdown on the gravekeeper, he managed to get the gravekeeper paired on the last cipher machine, and that was a finishing point for the survivors. It was very hard for them to come back, and yeah, they couldn't do not do it. So that leaves TSC with a round one victory. So if Stars lose the second round as well, then TSC will be able to win the matchup. Otherwise, if they can win the round or tie the round, we will be moving on to the round 3.
Yeah, like you said with the strategy for going on after half rescue, I just don't think in that situation they should have done that. I think they knew they wouldn't have had enough ciphers anyway, and at the very least they could have actually gotten some ciphers like done, especially if they were able to actually get the no damage rescue too, where what is it, the Gravekeeper, getting that no damage rescue was really nice, but I felt like it just should have been a before half. I feel like at the end of the day, I think they should have just used a shovel, go instantly for the rescue, and if you do get hit, then yeah, you go for the rescue. Then yeah, you just go rescue, even if it's a little bit early. But it's honestly, in this situation, I think it was better early than it was late, since they essentially did a 2-cipher kite. Barmy did the job pretty nicely overall, and I do think that if they got that before half rescue, I feel like the game would have definitely went a little bit differently rather than that. But it is just whataboutisms and whatnot. So we will be moving on to the picks and bans for the maps, and it looks like they are going to be banning away Moonlit, which I think is absolutely fair, especially if you don't want the any of the meta hunters coming out. Although, then again, which meta hunter really works? I guess only Opera, maybe Hullabaloo, maybe, I don't know, like, especially since Goatman is, at least for TKC, will be unavailable. But I think Arms Factory or Red Church will be the play here for I believe it's who is it again? Stars. There we go, Stars. Yeah, I feel like Arms Factory or Red Church should be the play here. Go on a smaller map, play a little more tanky, especially since you'll probably be going up against the Ivy or the Opera Singer, or even the Hullabaloo if you allow it to come through. So I do feel like maybe play on a smaller map, tankier comp, get that mercenary out, get that psych out and so on. And I do think that it is going to be, by the looks of things, it is actually going to be TKC Hunter going first. So I'm very excited. They're going to be picking Hospital. This is interesting. This is a really survivor-sided map, and I think picking Hospital unironically works.
Yeah, Hospital is a little bit of a risky pick, just because it's very survivor-sided, it's very one-sided, it's usually very difficult for the hunter to win the game on this map just because of how powerful hospital turtle is. But TKC hunter there has a lot of options to choose from. They are very good at opera singer, and they also have a Hulubulu and Ivy as well, and their peddler is also so very strong as well. So we could see a peddler coming out here. I think peddler is quite strong in in hospital, but he has the stronger choices as well. So we could really see any hunter here come out.
I've just noticed, have they made a substitute? Because I think
wow.
that's a different hunter.
Oh yeah, looks
looks
like we are seeing a substitute here. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a different hunter. So we could really expect anything.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know who this hunter plays. I feel like, I don't know. That's actually kind of interesting. So obviously, Goatman's off the table for this hunter, but I imagine that they don't play Goatman anyway. Something tells me this is planned to have this hunter come in for your round 2 and 3 picks. Maybe they play a lot more of like the Ivy operas. They're instantly going to be banning away the Priestess Seer, classic rank bans. But now, interesting bit is who are they going to ban? I personally think they should probably ban the Ivy here. Because I think if I'm correct, they do play Ivy, but I'm not entirely too sure. But they're going to ban a Hullabaloo. It makes sense. I mean, Hullabaloo is just as strong as Ivy, if not a little more consistent. But I do think, they're actually going to pause the deduction.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to see the pause here. So the hunter straight away deciding to ban Priestless and Seer. And yeah, those bans make them the most sense. They are possibly the two strongest survivors in the game, but Priestless is quite map dependent. But this is also her strongest map, the hospital. There are a lot of very good portal places. So there is one survivor that I would really like to be picked, and I think he's very underrated survivor. His name is Escapologist, and he starts the game with the shield, with the fog, which does not really trigger the attack recovery speed, but when he gets hit by the hunter, the shield absorbs the damage and teleports him forward. So that's a very strong ability in general, and he has smoke areas as well, which he can use to really trick the hunter, and that's his weakest side. Really, he really relies on tricking the hunter. But other than that, he also has one more very powerful ability which we have never really seen before, and that is swapping the chairs, which can be very powerful and very game changing for the survivors.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the we're just waiting for the unpause right about now.
Yeah. They could also see quite a lot of survivors being picked. Best picks here would probably be between psychologist, antiquarian, or novelist. Or we could, or from the puppeteer uh, as well. However, we could see survivors straight up picking the rescuer first, such as first officer, or they could even go for the mercenary, or we could see something like a little bit of meta pick, a female dancer or perfumer as well, or we could see the mechanic too.
I'm just trying to think of like who else could be just waiting for whatever is happening to
Looks like we have a little bit of an issue going on here. Mm, uh, uh, mm, mm, uh, uh, Picking the hospital total map here, I am interested to see to see what the hunter is going to pick here. He could really pick anything here, but the hunter I'm expecting the most is Ivy. I think she's the strongest pick here, but survivors do have quite a lot of options themselves. I mean, they could just go with the psychologist here, round one. I'm going with the most consistent survivor in the game. Just straight up 3 hit survivor can kite literally any hunter with those hits. Or we could see something like an acrobat coming out as well. They did decide to go quite risky in round one, going with meteorolist, but meteorolist and might as well. But they would really love to get a Rayman here. So there is a lot of survivor choices they could really go with here.
Yeah, I feel like if they do think it's an Ivy or of any sort, they should go for as many 3-hit characters as possible. So, it's gonna be restarted actually. Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like one of the survivors actually late disconnected. So we are going to see a straight up restart here. So the hunter bans are going to be the same. They banned Priestless and Seer first, so they could straight up go with the rescuer ban third as well. We could expect something like a first officer ban just because just because he is the strongest survivor currently, especially if the map is small, such as hospital, Tell or Red Church or Art Factory. First officer is usually the strongest options, but if the map is big, sometimes survivor might prefer mercenary or a first officer, just because mercenary can move around the map very consistently on maps like Lakeside Village, Moonlit River Park, and even on a map like Leo's memory. So it looks like we are getting into the game here once again, and we are waiting for the survivors to get in now.
Yeah. In reference to characters, I do still think they should probably go for more free-hit characters. They should probably go for more tanky characters, especially if it does end up being that Ivy. However, I don't know who they play, but I do see a Bloody Queen on the front. So I don't know if they play Bloody Queen. I don't know if they play Ivy. I don't know who they play in general. So it'll be very interesting. But if they do play that Ivy, we should probably expect to see like Psychologist, Puppeteer, maybe Magician, and if you want to go like really niche, you could do a Composer. But again, that one's really niche. Doesn't work as well as like Magician, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think trying to get as many multi-hit survivors as possible within that team comp and just create like one of the more tankier compositions, including that first officer. And I mean, we already know what the first two bands was. I don't know if it's going to change. I don't know if it's going to stay the same. But it looks like they are actually going to make a substitution here as well for the survivor side, from the looks of things. So looks like Ava is actually going to be swapping in for somebody. Not sure who, but it'll be interesting to see how they do. I think it's going to be for Salty, I believe, from what I'm seeing. Yeah, it does look like it. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how this is going to be. Whether they decide to change a little bit of their thinking because they made that small substitution, or whether they go with the same ideas as before. We're going to be heading into the picks and bans once again. I imagine it is just going to be that Priestess Seer. I don't think it's going to change too much, to be quite honest. I imagine we'll see something pretty quickly. Maybe. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's the Priestess Seer. So I imagine, okay, so if it's the same bands, then Hullabaloo will be the ban here, unless they do want to change it. But I mean, I would if I was allowed to, to be honest. But it looks like they are going to be banning out that Hullabaloo. Now, this is where it gets important. They need that Psychologist. If they don't pick the Psychologist, then it could be a little bit rough. But if they do pick Puppeteer over Psychologist, it's not the worst choice either. But it looks like they're going to be picking Antiquarian. I'll be honest, on this map, not too bad, depending on the hunter, but if it is that Ivy, I just don't think that's the right play. Unless maybe you get like a lucky stun off, and it looks like Psychologist is going to be that extra pick as well, but it's not going to be Antiquarian, actually. They only got 5 seconds left, and it looks like they're really shot for time. It's going to be Mercenary instead. Mercenary, not a bad choice. I would have preferred the First Officer. First Officer, I think, is just better against this Ivy. If we're assuming it's the Ivy, but I do think it is a little bit of a better choice. But I can understand the Mercenary. You can get in, get out quick, and we're going to be seeing Miss Americana ban out the Antiquarian. So Antiquarian is gone. So maybe they should take the Antiquarian. I'm not entirely too sure, but looks like they are going to be picking. Who's it going to be?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah, so what I was going with is the pick here, and it looks like they actually did not pick. So the third pick is going to be the lucky guy here, and now the hunter is banning. Now hunter decided to ban Antiquarian as their third pick. So we could expect them to go something different, something something like of meta other than Ivy. Because Ivy usually does not ban Puppeteer, and she definitely does not ban the Puppeteer. She actually counters them. So with the Puppeteer ban, we could see something like an Opera Singer or a nightmare. This hunter Ter is very strong on both of them. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen here, and it looks like survivors did go with the aeroplanist pick. So quite a a, a strong comp actually, except maybe for the lucky guy. I think that was a mistake. They were not supposed to pick the lucky guy here. However, lucky one good thing about a lucky guy here in a competitive mode is that because you already know what hunter you are playing against, he can always pick an item to counter the hunter. For example, if it's Bloody Queen, if it's Geisha, he could pick the perfume. If it's something like an Ivy, he could pick Pocket Watch, he could pick an elbow pad, he could pick anything really. He could pick a football ball as well, and that's one good thing about a lucky guy. However, his items are not guaranteed. So lucky Kai Chase is usually just as his name suggests. It's usually luck based. Does he get that item that he wants, or does he not? And it looks like we're going to see a Wuchang pick here. So a Wuchang after his buff has been a little bit popular, but he still has a very weak early game chase, and he usually relies on survivors to make a mistake. But if he gets an early knockdown, he can pop off, he can completely take over. It looks like survivors are going with full borrow time and flywheel pills, while mercenary is going with the tie tuner. And it also looks like they're going with the psychologist in the hospital here, and this is because they don't actually want the psychologist to get chased by a Wuchang, because she can feed the presence. And yeah, because she's a very tanky survivor, Wuchang might just target get her, and yeah, she can still kite for quite a long time, but he can get a lot of hits against a psychologist. He could also chase a lucky guy, but lucky guy is also in a very strong kiting area in ruins, and he could get an item to counter a Wuchang. A good item here would be perfume, a gun, or an elbow pad, or a pocket watch as well. But pocket watch is quite risky. It has a very low chance of actually getting it, and lucky guy actually has very few items to work with. He needs to search that chest, but I don't think Wuchang is going to let him search the chest. I think he's going to teleport on him instantly if he decides to chase the lucky guy, forcing him to only kite with one item.
Yeah, lucky guy. The prime chase here for Wu Chang, probably. As much as Psychologist has literally no items, only has raw kiting ability, still has the luxury of, you know, getting 3 hits. So this will be very interesting to see how it'll go down. Wu Chang, not the most popular pick, but it is, you know, the pick of the round 2 as we are heading into the first half of round 2. Instantly going for a umbrella on the psychologist, and looks like they are going to be opting to chase the psychologist here. Not entirely too sure if that's the right move, but I can understand why, since they do need a bit of presence, as they've gone for an up-down blink build. So honestly, a very common build on Wu Chang's, I see. Sometimes I run it too, but it's mostly a tie build. It's not really a build that. Oh, that's not. Oh, that they've ran into the. Oh, but they've made. Okay, now they do get the hit. They did run into the hunter. They didn't really run away from the hunter, which is kind of not what you want. And now, yeah, they're probably going to get hit again because his hitbox is broken, but good flywheel. Can they get the hit? Yes, they can. I mean, they should have thrown down the pallet immediately. But now we're going to be seeing the shape further. Can they throw down the pallet? No, they can't. Can they get the hit? We'll throw down that pallet now. We'll get the blink, and one of the ciphers is already done. So it is at least one cipher's worth, as we will probably see the mercenary come in for this first rescue here.
Yeah, so they do have one cipher machine popped, and they have other two cipher machines with quite a lot of progress. So we could see a tie game here, but Wu Chang does have a chance to pop in the late game. It looks like Mercenary is coming in using the elbow pad. Purposely misses the swing, but will be able to hit the Mercenary. And he's going to go for the Psychologist here. Psychologist has a chance to rebound Kite here. She has these two strong pallets to work with, and Wu Chang does break one pallet. It looks like she's trying to rebound Kite, and I'm trying to replicate Light Trick with Umbrella. I'm throwing it on a random direction, and because of that Psychologist is doing a very good rebound Kite here. They could have a chance to win the game. Using the charge attack will be able to get the knockdown. However, they do need one more cipher machine, and who is going to come for the rescue here? They could send the mercenary for the rescue, but technically they ideally want to send the lucky guy just because he has the flare gun. He can use it for a support. So what's going to happen here? It looks like lucky guy is coming in, and it looks like lucky guy is going to come in while the mercenary goes for the cipher machine. And no,
What
it
is?
looks like
Huh?
Aeroplanes is coming in for the rescue. Yeah,
I
and
don't
was
think
able
the airplane that should have been going in there. I think you were spot on with that. I think the lucky guy should have been the one to come in. Brilliant gun from the lucky guy. Actually, you're gonna try and body block for as much as they can, but not gonna get it in time. As now they are down at one cipher remaining, and there's one cipher over at the what's the area called? There's one at Forest, one over at the back corner, and one over at Shack. And now they're in a bit of an interesting position where they could actually
looks like he's going to try to down the airplanes here. Airplane is using the dash pack, but there are no pallets here. He's going to be going down, and Lucky Guy is searching for more chests. They are doing the last cipher machine, but it has no progress, and he's cheering close to the last cipher machine. So this looks very bad for the survivors. It looks like Lucky Guy getting the robot will be able to start a new cipher machine with the robot, and he's going to come in for the rescue himself. It looks like mercenary elbow pad past him.
Yeah, that wasn't the greatest elbow pad there, and yeah, now Lucky Guy gonna come in for this rescue here. Will actually try and get it. Oh, they actually get the soul siphon, and they can't rescue now. They can just go for the blink here, and this will be a 4K.
Yeah, it looks like was able to down the Lucky Guy, and yeah, Lucky Guy unfortunately missing the flywheel. Oh, wait, he checked the Lucky Guy first, so Mercenary has the chance to get to get up here, maybe going for the rescue. Yeah, he's going to get up, elbow pad, and he actually gets stuck on the wall. So he will be able to rescue the lucky guy. But Wu Chang having a blink here, he's just going to, well, he's not even going to need a blink, and was able to get a knockdown. So that means TKC will be able to get a four-man elimination as well. So this is putting Stars into a terrible position, as their hunter also needs to get a four-man elimination. Otherwise, they're going to be eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of decisions in that game that I felt like could have just gone differently. They had a lot of. They actually did so well to get to where they were. I felt like the lucky guys should have definitely been the one to rescue, since they did have a gun to use for rebound. Airplanes. I don't know if I felt like that was miscommunication, because like the airplanes kind of just came in and just went for the rescue anyway, which I don't think made much sense, in all honesty. And then Mercenary, for some reason, didn't decided not to go away and head to Shack, since again there was a Cypher in Shack that I believe was actually the one that was at 14%. So it's not like the Cyphers were completely dead in the water. There was like a little bit of progress, like sure, but the yeah, it just, to me, I felt like there was just a lot of miscommunication at the end there that caused the survivors to make the mistakes that they did, and feel like, I mean, the end with the Soul Siphon not being able to get that rescue off is just unfortunate. So it'll be interesting to see what this Hunter can do now, because they do need to get a 4K to get this to round 3. And considering if they do get a 4K, it's not like it's the end of the world either, because the first round was 7-2, so it's not like it's, you know, completely out of the equation here. So I do think it is very, very possible to get this 4K here and, you know, even make a comeback.
Yeah, so with the hunter needing the 4K here, this could be this will be very difficult for stars to do much. Survivors just need one man escape on the most survivor sided map, so so this will put a lot of pressure on stars hunter. There, I am excited to see what they are going to go with, but they already played one of the strongest for men options in round 1, which is Ivy. So their options are very limited. However, we could expect a Hulubulu here, as this hunter is quite skilled with the Hulubulu, or an opera singer as well. But these hunters don't really have any very good cipher pressures. Survivors could pick a Thai character here. I am actually expecting Embalmer the most from the survivors. He really guarantees that one man escape, and I'm also expecting a lot of suicide builds as well from the survivors here. There are a lot of choices survivors could choose. They could choose mechanic, they could choose novelist, they could even choose characters like cheerleader, their journalist. They could choose knight as well. They could choose archer too, which we already saw getting picked for the first time ever. I think I have never seen archer being picked before other than in this tournament previously, and she actually worked quite well. She has a lot of stuns which she can land on a hunter, and those stuns last for quite a while. So archer pick could be very good here as well, but I'm mostly expecting as an embalmer or a mechanic pick.
Yeah, I do think they should probably. The thing is, with the mechanic, I feel like mechanic can go 1-2 ways. The Ivy's gone, that's good for them. But Although, then again, if it is Hullabaloo, Ivy would actually work pretty well, since the bot doesn't really get affected that much unless they do purposely go after the bot, but even then it's like 3 hits. So, like, Ivy can work. Sorry, Ivy? I mean, Mechanic. Jesus Christ. Okay. But yeah, I think Mechanic can work. I feel like we will, if they really want to go for this, I think every one of them could realistically bring Sui build, especially if it is like, let's say they do bring out Mechanic and Borma, you know, going for that really hard tie, and then maybe they go for like a very safe rescue, like that mercenary, like that first officer, even Gravekeeper, since Gravekeeper is available for them. But in terms of like just overall kiters, I feel like the only one they could realistically pick now is that Acrobat. Since they did get rid of Magician and Puppeteer within the first round, so I do feel like the Acrobat would be that choice in terms of, you know, main chitin. I don't know, I guess it just depends on who they think the Hunt's gonna pick. Because I don't know if the player in question, I think their name's Salty, if they have a Goatman, this, like, it can work. They can easily get a 4K here, since Goatman's just good on every possible map. But I feel like maybe go for a similar route to what Miss Americana did, where you go for that off-meta round 2 pick where they might not be used to it, right? They might not be used to that off-meta pick. Maybe, you know, maybe you could do, you know, a Wu Chang. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we could see Hunter they're picking a risky pick here. Now, there are types of hunters that can get a guaranteed tie or guaranteed one man, such as Bloody Queen, Bonbon, and there are also so risky hunters, Tears, which is for men or no men, and those hunters are the types of hunters we should really expect, such as Hermit, Cleric, Nightmare, and it looks like survivors have decided to ban a Sculptor. So looks like this hunter must be very powerful on a Sculptor for survivors to ban her like that, because Sculptor is not really a for men type of hunter, and it looks like survivors have decided to go with the Gravekeeper and a Mechanic. So yeah, very difficult to win against a Mechanic that bot usually doing one extra cipher allows survivors to cipher rush, and it looks like Hunter decided to ban a forward, and they're going with the Prospector, so a very good and very interesting pick here. Prospector is usually very strong in the late game because he has those 3 magnets, and he has unlimited magnets. He can recharge them unlimitedly, but his early game is quite weak. He only really has 1 magnet, and he gets the second magnet very late into the game. So looks like Hunter is going with the Psychologist ban, and they're going with the Acrobat. So this really looks like survivors have a very good chance of winning the game here and getting the 1 man out. So it's very interesting to see what the Hunter is going to pick here. We could see a Hullabaloo, we could see an Opera Singer as well, or we could see a very risky pick, a Nightmare, a Hermit, we could even see a Wax Artist, or we could see a Breaking Wheel as well.
Yeah, like you mentioned with the 4-man No-Man Hunters, I immediately think of, you know, the likes of Breaking Wheel, Hermit, you know, sometimes Wax Artist on maps like these. It's, it is going to be really interesting to see what they decide to pick. But like I said before, you know, I did say that realistically they should be picking those type of characters. Prospector, I'm not really entirely too sure on because of his weak early game. But I mean, looking at the bans as well, the fact they banned Forward when the Gravekeeper was available, especially with the way Forward is used now, where they're more or less a rescuer rather than like a proper harasser, I felt like it was a bit of a wasted ban. But then again, you don't really expect them to pick a harasser like Prospector, so I guess it does make sense in some cases. So we are going to be seeing what hunter they pick, and it is going to be Peddler. Okay, Peddler, I think in this situation actually does kind of... Oh, they're not going to pick Peddler. Oh, never mind.
They are thinking
What?
about it. They might go with the clerk. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Clerk actually works really well here, in a sense. Clerk, again, I wouldn't consider them a 4-man or no-man, but what they are really good at is if they can gain early game control and have like a really good early game, they will just win the game, like outright. They will snowball into like just OP territory, and they will just like take control of the game. And with the fact that Acrobat, you know, in that endgame is a slow exit gate decoder, it is just going to be very difficult for the Acrobat to really decode. Hence why what we'll probably see, like if they do get to that endgame, is they will probably be expected to, you know, wait out detention, right? So it looks like Prospector's actually going to be heading into Ruins. The Mechanic is all the way in Hospital, Gravekeeper outside of Birdcage, and the Acrobat on the left-hand side of the map, and the Clerk's going to spawn in Forest. So I imagine they might actually just chase the Gravekeeper here. Gravekeeper's honestly a better chase than Acrobat against the Clerk, since Clerk really does struggle against an Acrobat. Acrobat just pulls so much distance away from it. But look at the builds. So the builds, they are going to have two tides once again. And we're actually going to see two Sui builds. We're going to see a full kite on the Mechanic. And what, interestingly, broken windows and a tide on the Acrobat, which does make sense since Acrobat can be used pretty efficiently as a rescuer, or more or less as a sub-rescuer. In this team comp, and I'm also kind of surprised that the Prospect does not have flywheels, so maybe there's a reason for that. But yeah, either way, this game's going to be very interesting, but Salty here does need to get a really, really good start if they want to win this, if they want to get a 4K here.
Yes, so going with the Clerk here, and Clerk is the type of hunter that struggles a lot against support and the harassment. So our survivors really have a very good chance at pulling the Clerk. However, Clerk is kind of hoping that survivors will not support this game, and if that happens, Clerk can really take over. It's really up to the survivors how well they harass, and it looks like they're going with the Acrobat, and because the Acrobat picked the statue spawn, he's kind of forced to run into the Prospector here, who is running into the Hunter using the magnet instantly, pushing him back slightly. Who is he going to chase? He's going to chase the Prospector, and that magnet will not come back for quite a while.
Ooh.
He's just going to drop the pallet, picking up the pallet and heading straight into the hospital here.
And now I'm going to be changing targets to Acrobat, which is kind of surprising because I think Prospector was actually a better chase target there. They had no magnets. Oh, just gave them a free recording though. But yeah, they had no magnets, and now the Prospector realistically should be getting healed here, and I believe they are. No, they're not. They're not. Okay. Oh, again a free pallet recording too. So far, Salty's actually in a pretty decent position. Two people injured. Acrobat, their main chase target, is injured. Now gonna be, but because of the, yeah, they get. Oh, I thought they would have just gone for the blink. Oh, the fireball. That's why. Whoops. But yeah, Gonna be missing that hit, but now getting that extra hit. Did not use blink, and now will be getting that first chair. One cipher almost completed, and that is actually the Gravekeeper cipher that's almost completed. Kind of surprising considering he's the slow decoder here, but right about now, I think Gravekeeper should definitely just use their shovel, just get that distance, make up that distance a lot, and it looks like now they're gonna use it. So I imagine they're probably just gonna use it about now. Can they get the hit? Will get the body block. Brilliant body block from this Gravekeeper, and now Acrobat is heading back to the ruins area. I imagine they might just use the yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. What just happened? What? Okay. Well, yeah. Acrobat gets the hit, and they'll be going down once again next to the statue.
Yeah, it looks like Acrobat actually really tried to jump over a very tall wall here, and he could not do it, or he accidentally misclicked and pulled the wrong way. So yeah, he did have a very good chance of predicting the blink here, but now it looks like survivors are going for a cell, and this is exactly what the clerk wants. There was no support here, no harassment, and this is where clerk can really pop off here. They still need a lot of cipher machine, but clerk is actually the strongest cipher pressuring counter in the entire game, and that's all she really has she just has this cipher pressure. She does not have the strongest chase. She does not really have any camping abilities. She does not really have any mobility that helps her get around the map quickly. She just has cipher pressure. So it looks like she's going to chase the prospector, which will be very difficult because he still has 3 magnets, but there is a chance that prospector makes a mistake. He picks up the pallet and recording the prospector trying to reduce the stun actually breaks the magnet, so prospector has to use a second magnet, but no, he does not actually. He makes the window, and now Clerk is actually out of recordings here, and she actually runs out of recording faster than I expected. So they do have the last 2 ciphers at 60%, and they have a very good chance to tie the game actually.
Yeah, the Gravekeeper. Oh, are they going to be able to? Yeah, they will. Okay, so Gravekeeper's actually going to go back into his shovel. If this prospector can actually get the cipher off in time, then they will probably be able to. Will not be able to play that pallet mine game, and now we're going to be seeing the quick dash onto the prospector here. I don't think. Oh, but they're gonna get hit, and I mean that cipher's primed. At the very least, that cipher's primed. You have, but they're just gonna, it's just gonna instantly be abnormal. And they've even recorded the abnormal too, so they could just go for a second abnormal if they really want to, and that's just unfortunate. And the basement's there too. Oh yeah, this looks like if they didn't switch to abnormal, or if they already switched to a different trait, that could have actually possibly been a really strong case to maybe get one out, but now misses the
getting the rescue here in the basement, they really relying on this body block, but could not get it unfortunately. Clerk being able to completely turn the tie game into a winning game here with that abnormal. So as survivors, they will now aim for the one-man escape. They don't really have any more tie to nurse to get the mechanic out of the basement. So I'm expecting them to straight up just sell the mechanic. They do have 3 cipher machines anyway, but Clerk being very good at pressuring the cipher, mechanic actually has to bring the bot to heal up the Gravekeeper. But Clerk could actually spot them out here. There is a chance, but no, it looks like she's just going to be pressuring the prospector here, and we could actually see a cell from the survivors. It looks like robot is pressuring the rescue here, and Hunter they're hitting the robot. That was a very good job from the mechanic, distracting the clerk here. The energy was about to run out anyway, so looks like the gatekeeper will be going for the rescue, but their last cipher machine is only 60%, and what's going to happen here is the clerk, yeah, getting the hit on the mechanic, and then I mean the gravekeeper, and I should be able to get the knockdown instantly. Knocks down the gravekeeper this time, and gravekeeper is actually not dead on chair. So she's going to chair the gravekeeper not in the basement, instead on the cipher machine, and that could actually be a very good play here. Survivors can no longer decode the cipher machine, and yeah, Clerk actually using the recording thing abnormal, and I'm using the abnormal for the third time, recording the abnormal as well. So she could use the abnormal for the fourth time. Now the abnormal does not actually get affected with the clerk recording. So usually when you use abnormal multiple times it gets weaker and weaker, reducing less and less progress. But when you use an abnormal with the recording, that does not actually happen. So what usually happens is that clerk with abnormal can be very strong and very powerful just because of that reason. And looks like mechanic actually gives away the pallet recording. So survivors do have a chance to get a one man here. They did heal up, they did reset, using the mind games here, picking up the pallet, hitting the mechanic, and now mechanic is dead on chair. So what Clegg will have to do is she will have to slug the mechanic here. She really needs a foreman man, and a prospector is doing the 70% cipher machine. Clerk just now realizes that prospector is doing the other cipher, but she has no idea that cipher has so much progress. Looks at the wrong cipher, the pallet is blocked, and will be able to down the mechanic here. And is she going to go for the chair? She's kind of picking up the survivor. If she kind of has to drop here, using the abnormal, reducing the cipher
Oh,
machine by only by 15%, which that abnormal did nothing, it looks like, and is able to block the cipher machine, going for the prospector, which will be a very difficult chase. He has three magnets here, and Clerk basically has nothing but abnormal recordings. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Cancels the recovery speed. Oh no, prospector making a huge mistake here.
yeah. At the very least, they got the stun off, so it wasn't like completely out of it. But again, they just I think they should just abnormal this. They might as well. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be as much as previous times, but going down to 73, I mean, against the clerk, that is a lot of progress lost, and now we're seeing the mechanic actually pick it up themselves, as they're going to be focused on the Prospector still. Prospector still has. I still think Prospector shouldn't be so close to this cipher, since by looks of things, yeah, I mean they just realized, like, now, in my opinion, they kind of have to make as
Yeah,
much distance as possible, and they can't get there in time. And now the abnormal just popped and yeah, I mean, this is a 4K. They got so close. I feel like maybe if the survivors, I'm thinking, I don't know, like, it's really difficult to tell, because no one really, I don't think, I don't know, it's really difficult to tell, but yeah, so far, it's a phenomenal job. We'll get the down here, we'll be chairing that prospector, and it will be GG's, as we're going to be heading into our third round.
yeah. So look like a clerk pick worked out with it. Um, I'm enjoying the prospector very early into the game. Game looked to be be very powerful. She could have kept chasing the Prospector here because he basically had no magnets, and because Prospector is better in the late games. In the late game he does get a lot of magnets and can be very powerful, but he decided to chase the Acrobat just because the Prospector pushed in the hospital, and our Prospector chase could have been difficult, but Acrobat chase could have been even harder. However, because she decided to chase the Acrobat, Prospector was injured, and he decided not to harass and not to support just because he was injured. That kind of scared him, and because there was no support or no harassment, Clerk was able to completely take over. Usually for any other hunter that would just be a 3-man 2 men escape there, so I was had enough cipher machines to get a tie, but because it's a Clerk, she was able to put down a lot of pressure, and just because she got that chair in the basement, she was really able to put down so much pressure that our survivors really could not come back from this.
Yeah, and with that, it is going to be the map pick and bans for subs. Yeah, I completely forgot about subs. Whoops. But yeah, map picks and bans I think are going to be very interesting this time around. I feel like Kitty Cats banned the what's it called? I think they're picking the map. I'm not entirely too sure, but by the looks of things, they are going to be making at least Kitty Cats are going to be making a substitution. Looks like Girth is actually going to be dual factioning this time around, so be interesting to see how that goes. And I don't know if the other team is going to make a change. I don't think they will. I'm not entirely too sure, but it'll be interesting to see if they do. Overall, I'm very interested to see how round 3 is going to go. We've already had obviously the Ivy, Goatman, Clerk, Wu Chang, 4 unique hunters. I wonder if we're going to see 2 more unique hunters. I guess it definitely depends. Since if TKC do actually get a 4K, if their hunter goes first anyway, they will win this game mathematically. So I think if they do get faction pick, I think it's whoever did it in round 1. I'm not entirely too sure who did it in round 1, but I'm gonna check real quick actually. I believe it was alright, who picked? Okay, so they actually picked the map. Okay, so Kitty Cats picked the map first. Realistically, Stars should have their hunter go first. They need to have their hunter go first, because if they don't and they allow the Kitty Cat hunter to go next, then it's very possible that we might not get a second half. But we are going to be moving on to the map picks and bans now, where I imagine they'll want to ban away a map like Lakeside or a map like Moonlit or Eversleeping, just so that they can have a much easier time, on the map on maps like Arms and Red Church. But I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see what Stars ban, because I imagine Kitty Cats will want to go on a smaller map here. I feel like they'll probably want to go on Arms Factory, or maybe Red Church. So I do feel like that can be the option here, unless they do want to go for a bigger map like Lakeside or what's it called, Moonlit. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, so yes, yeah, so yeah, so I am most likely expecting thing thing an unfactory pick here, just because their the, their hunter are usually specializes is with Ivy and Dream Witch. So we could see an Factory free pick here. That's the map I'm expecting the most. However, Ivy is permaband and Dream Witch does have counter picks. So it looks like it's going to be an ever sleeping town. So a very irrelevant map here. It looks like and yeah Eversley Ping usually does not really like taking sites. It's a map which has a train. So usually we see the most funny moments on this map just because the train usually changes a lot of games. So sometimes it hits the hunter, stunning them for a long time, giving survivors bunch of distance, and sometimes it hits the survivors, which stops them from moving and allows the hunter to get a free hit.
Yeah, and they've decided to go survivors first from stars. I'm not sure that's the right decision, because here's the thing. I am a very big I don't know if anyone knows in the chat, right? I'm a very big advocate of pre-game strategy, in the sense that you have a clear idea of what you want to do before the game even starts, in terms of your picks, when you want to go first, when you want to go second. I feel like they should have had their hunter just go first, especially considering the hunter did get a 4K for them, did get the maximum amount of points required. I feel like them going survivor first, either A, they are really confident with what they've got planned here, or B, I don't know, like, I feel like they should just have their hunter they should have had their hunter go first, because again, if the Kitty Cat's hunter does 4K, it's game over. There won't be a second half. But I don't know, maybe they have something in mind, maybe something is in motion. I'm not entirely too sure. I don't know, it's an interesting decision to have their survivors go first. I would have personally sent the Stars hunter to go out first, to be quite honest.
Yeah, maybe that they are just that confident in their survivors, but TKC has a very powerful hunter here. He can almost really play anything here. He can play Goatman, he can play Hulubulu, he can play Opera Singer, he can play Ivy as well. However, Goatman and Wuchang are permaband, so he does have quite a lot of choices now, and looks like they're going to ready up soon, and they're going to head into the game soon. Now the pick that I'm mostly expecting from the hunter is Hulubulu, because their Hulubulu is very strong, very powerful. It can completely take over. He could possibly just straight up tap end the game here, and Hulubulu is the only hunter who does not have a recovery speed. However, it is balanced by the fact that he needs to apply 3 different colors just to get a hit. He's still a very powerful full very powerful full hunter, and he has a lot of movement speed to which allows him to get around the map very quickly, and he also has a very powerful jump ability. So both survivors and hunters are ready now, and survivors, they do need to win this round, round 3, and they do need to not get forment here, if they want to have a good chance at winning. So yeah, we are going to head into the game soon, and we are going to see what's the what the survivors are going to do, and what the hunters are going to do as well. So we could expect survivors to want to pick something like Priestless. We could see them pick Embalmer, and we could see them pick a novelist as well, as he's also a very powerful full survivor. So or they could go off meta as well. They could go cheerleader, they could go journalist, they could go something like Pharaoh Lady. So getting into the game here, it looks like Hunter is going to ban Priestless and an Explorer ban. Very interesting ban on the Explorer. Technically, Explorer is a decoder, but he does not actually decode code cipher machine faster than a normal decoding character, just because it takes him quite a while to reach from one place to another, get the code and get them onto the cipher. However, Explorer's biggest advantage is that he can make it very difficult for the hunter to win the game, just because he's never actually on top of the cipher machines. It's very difficult for the hunter to pressure a cipher machine when there's an explorer in the game, because he could just walk on a random spot, get a lot of pages, and afterwards pop the cipher machine immediately, giving Hunter no chance to pressure him. So it looks like Swallows are going with the journalist pick here. Yeah, we are seeing end of meta pick. They are going with the mechanic. They want to make sure they don't get forment here with that robot, and they are going with the journalist, which is a very risky pick. Journalist is only good in areas where there are pallets, and she's very situational. There are hunters who can counter her, and they're going with the novelist. So yeah, an expected pick from the novelist. Let's see what the hunter is going to ban last. It's going to be a toy merchant ban. And are they going with the cowboy here? Cowboy is a very risky pick. Yeah, looks like they're going with the cowboy, and cowboy is not really meta right now at all. He does not really have a lot of ways to impact the game, unless survivor ends up dying in the corner, and this map has a very good corner in the graveyard that survivors can die towards. However, they don't really have a stable rescuer. They have a journalist, but journalist can get chased as first, and if she gets chased first, then their strategy becomes very weak, because they're really relying on the tight turner to make cowboy boy effective unless there are other survivors decide to go with some sort of a suicide side build here. And looks like survivors are picking king traits now, and I'm wondering what the hunter wants to pick here. We could see an opera singer pick here. She is the strongest hunter here. Or we could see an off-meta hunter. Waxart is Hermit Bonbon. It's going to be a peddler, it looks like.
Oh, that's interesting. Sorry about that. I just got back.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is interesting. So, Cowboy, yeah, like you said, not very meta at all. I'm surprised they even went with Cowboy. I'm surprised they never picked up Seer. That's a very odd choice not to pick up the Seer, especially against a Peddler too, who actually does pretty solid against a Peddler. Maybe they want Cowboy as like a secondary kiter, unless they. I mean, I don't see the point of using Cowboy as harass if that's what they're going for, but I think that is probably what they're going for here. So it looks like they are gonna be having the. Oh, I don't think they should be. I don't know. I don't think mechanic should be spawning there. I do think the mechanic should spawn. Not there either. I wouldn't have done that. I would have probably had them spawn next to the graveyard. Over I believe it's Dancing Geisha, but it looks like so they've actually just baited the hunter out somehow. Okay, so Novelist is not too bad against the Peddler here. The Novelist can use the book to escape from the vines when they're using them anyway. So that is quite nice to have. I believe I'm also correct. The journalist can actually use the little Orpheus to actually more or less body block the vines as well. So this is going to be very interesting to see. Again, the hunter does need a 4K to win this game. Well, a 3K at the very least to win this game. But with a comp like this, I feel like anything could happen. It's just that Cowboy I'm very uncertain on. It feels more like a specialist pick rather than like a regular pick, to be honest.
Yeah, and with this pawn, Peddler is actually forced to chase the novelist here, and novelist could actually go in the graveyard. However, Peddler has a chance to counter the novelist just because she has a lot of abilities that can outrange novelist book, such as she has a wine, she has a chip hit, and she could also land a chip hit. She has a root ability as well. She could stop the novelist from moving, or she could just go in for the journalist and chase the journalist. And if he chases her, there will be no Titan in the team at all. And yeah, it looks like he's chasing the journalist, and this is very bad for the survivors. They really need the Titanoner for the Cowboy. And beautiful for Orpheus here, blocking the wine, and Peddler using another wine. Wow. One Orpheus blocks two wines and gets the Palestine. That was the best Orpheus I have ever seen in my entire life, and yeah, I'll probably never see an Orpheus better than that. So creating a portal here, trying to get a hit, and yeah, managing just to get a hit. That is a risk when playing a journalist. Sometimes the body blocking king does not work, and now he has a blink available. Journalist might be able to child the palette. No, using the blink, trying to predict blink, almost predicts it. However, downing the journalist here, putting Peddler into a tie into a tie position.
Yeah, that was really good. And the fact that was only one Orpheus as well actually made it very, very much more Good here. Messing up the vine a little bit, but not gonna go for this hit onto the bot here. Gonna leave the bot to where it is, and brilliant. Gonna get chipped here, but it doesn't really matter too much. They will get the rescue off at this at the very least, and it looks like they are gonna be and gonna get the chip here, and that's gonna be the slow vault, and that is gonna be the full presence peddler. Full presence, honestly, peddler full presence is a demon, like absolute demon. 4 ciphers that are only remaining. Gonna have the bot actually heal the cowboy, which I think is it's gonna be risky because they do have 2 chips available at hand. 1 chip and they are going to be done for. So Cowboy needs to be so careful, because if the Cowboy is not able to get the rescue here, which makes me think they're actually not going to go for a rescue, unless maybe they might go for a...
Yeah, he's going for
yeah, they are. Okay, yeah, they are.
Yeah, he gets the lasso here. Looks like
Ooh.
being able to down the cowboy using the root and a chip hit combo here, and she has another wine here, using the wine, trying to catch up to the journalist. Instead, catches up to the mechanic who was using bot right in front of her face. Yeah, mechanic really expected the peddler to go after the journalist. However, because he went after the mechanic, that gave journalist a lot of the distance. She's using the wine just to catch up. However, she's running out of the stacks here. She has to place to get a wine here, using the wine, and Noel is using the switch ability, manages to body block. Look at the ciphers. They have a lot of cipher fire machines. They don't actually. I thought there was 1 cipher remaining. No, there are 2 ciphers remaining. So this is a type position blink.
What?
Hits the Orpheus, and you has to use the wine here. Journalist drops the pallet to block the wine. What a beautiful rebound high from a journalist. They actually have a chance to win the game here. They need 1 survivor to support, possibly Cowboy, but Cowboy is doing the last cipher here. And yeah, they were not able to do it. However, this is a very good tie position, and I think they will be able to get the tie here.
Yeah, I mean, that was really good support from literally every single person. Even just simple body blocks was going to be enough. And I don't know what he was doing there, helping the bot out, but I don't think it really matters. Yeah, they are going to pop that cipher, and this is exactly what they needed. They needed a tie to put themselves in such a good position. If they get a 3-man escape, though, that's an even better position. And by the looks of things, they are going to be making their way over to the middle cipher, as by the looks of things, Mechanic is trying to get that gate open as much as possible. 40, 50, and it's a lot, but they're both in that area, and they are going to get caught out, and... Oh my, they missed! What? Now they haven't? Oh, what?
Yeah.
Now, oh my god. So, okay, so Cowboy is gonna make their way... Well, sorry, Novel is actually gonna make their way over to the other gate, because a tie is gonna be enough. Like, yeah, by looks of things, the tie is actually going to be enough, as they will have that available, but it is... Oh my god.
Mechanic's robot was going for the rescue. Oh no, that was so close to a swim, and Mechanic's robot was going for a rescue, but they had to leave, and because they had to leave, the Mechanic just straight up died. So I actually thought for a second that would have been a 3-man escape, just because of the robot, but the robot could not make it to the rescue. Probably because Cowboy used a lasso to bring it closer to the gate, which resulted in the robot being quite far away. However, now if the Starsky Hunter gets a 3-man elimination, Stars could actually tie up the the round, which would mean that it would be up to the points to decide who would win. This is actually a very close matchup. It looks like from a start that TKC would be able to just completely win the matchup, completely take over, but Stars being able to turn it era era around here, and because of that the matchup is quite close.
Yeah, I mean, a 4K means it will go into overtime. A 3K is not going to be enough, so they're going to have to play a hunter that will get the 4K against these type of players. And I mean, this is where you start to see that Breaking Wheel, that Hermit, that maybe you go with your more meta hunters like that Ivy and Hullabaloo, right? Where they need like a strong performance, and I do think that maybe, I mean, TKC are going to have to play out of their skin in order to keep it, under wraps, because even if they do lose this round in a 3K and they do get one out, they'll still win the game. They'll still win on points. But it's now essentially do or die for this Stars Hunter. If they can get a 4K, it will go to overtime. And has there ever been an overtime in this tournament, or?
No, not yet. I think this might just be a first time we are gonna see an overtime.
Honestly, no, I kind of want to see it. No, I kind of low-key want to see that, but it's going to be very interesting if it does go to overtime. It's going to be very interesting, but the Hunter will have to make their way to getting that 4K, and what they decide to do is, I don't know, it's up to them. I mean, I would honestly say, oh, it looks like it's going to be a different Hunter. Okay. It's not going to be salty by the looks of things.
Yeah, so it looks like going into the game for TKC. See, they just need the tie here. So yeah, I am really expecting that Embalmer pick here being very good. However, Stars actually has a very strong hunter. Their hunter is so strong that I'm actually expecting an overtime here. I would love to see a round 4 in this tournament, but just because survivors, they do need the tie. They could pull the tie here. There are a lot of hunters that are banned. The hunter cannot not play clerk or Ivy, and survivors can ban 2 hunter here. So here I'm expecting a hunter like hunter like a hermit, hunter like a wax artist, hunter like a even something like a Percy or a Breaking Wheel would be good here.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely should pivot towards those 4-man Moman hunters, and I mean, it is all to play for now. Especially with how Stars have been slowly making their way back into the game as well. Like, the Hunter doing a fantastic job on Clerk, on Sacred Art, and now they're going to have to once again replicate the the 4K as well. And honestly, I do feel like this is gonna be quite interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, so we will be getting thing into the game here. Now last time we did see a survivor speaking the the of meta characters such as a journalist, and it worked out quite well. That rebound kiting from the journalist was very strong. So we could see an of meta pick here. The 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 survivor picks that would be the most interesting here would be something like a weeping clown, something like a cheerleader, something like a knight would be very good here. I think he's one of the strongest survivors, and he does not get banned usually. So we could see him as well. We could see even something like a composer too, but composer is a little bit risky. We could see painter as well, but now getting into the game here. Wow, it looks like Hunter is banning the whipping clown. No, he's choosing. He's trying to make a decision. He's thinking about antiquarian here, and is he gonna ban the rescuers? He's really thinking about it. Yes, he's just straight up banning the rescuers here. So this kind of forces the survivors to pick like a gravekeeper per round one. Otherwise, he could just ban more rescuers. And yeah. Actually, Knight pick would be very strong here. He could be a very good rescuer. And it looks like just as we expected. We are seeing a whipping clown and acrobat pick.
This is interesting. I feel like maybe they could have pivoted towards the priestess here, especially since it is, pretty much a do or die situation where Wilding now being. I don't think Wilding should be banned here. You know that. Oh, I feel like that's a bit of a waste of ban. The Weeping Clans just came out, and you're banning another rescuer. I think is just not a good idea, especially when it's been very clear that Weeping Clan is probably going to be their main rescuer. Female Dancer, very good support on Eversleeping. I think a solid choice here. Now, it just depends on who they ban here. If they ban the Priestess here, I think this is fine. But they're not going to ban the Priestess. They're going to ban the Novelist. This actually leads to a possible Priestess pick, which I genuinely think they should take, unless they are looking strictly for a Gravekeeper. I mean, sorry, not a Gravekeeper, for a Breaking Wheel, in which I don't think they are, but they are going to go for Laura instead. So it's interesting that they've gone for no Priestess here. Maybe they're a little bit worried about the Breaking Wheel, but even then, Breaking Wheel doesn't do bad against this team comp whatsoever. So I don't know who they're realistically picking for. Maybe they're just going for comfort picks. That's the only thing I can really think of here.
Yes. So So they could have definitely picked stronger survivors. However, they did decide to have their whipping clown going as their rescuer. Now our whipping clown has a very strong ability. That rocket can really help help survivors gain a lot of the distance. And he can also going for the rescue. However, he's not really the strongest rescuer, and if it is a good camping hunter, a bonbon sculptor, he could really struggle against that, and he will really struggle to get the rescue if the hunter manages to cut him off. Looks like he's going with the breaking wheel. So they do have that whipping clown harassment against the breaking wheel, but but it's not really the strongest. It can only really work when a survivor is knocked down, and breaking wheel pick here is actually very strong. If he can find and chase the lawyer at first, this could be very good for the breaking wheel, because lawyer does not have any kiting abilities except for some for a small amount of movement speed he gets from his movement speed buff, and the fact that he can see the hunter all the time. However, when hunter has a lot of movement speed or a dashing ability, it becomes very hard for the lawyer to kite, just because he has no kiting abilities and he cannot really rotate a hunter like that. So it looks like they're going with a dancer inside the middle, and those slow boxes will be very powerful against a breaking wheel, because breaking wheel is actually not immune against a slow. He's only immune to against a stun. So we could see a dancer chase here. We could also see a lawyer chase here, but Graveyard does have that very strong window. Survivors did a very good decision by having the lawyer go in the graveyard here. If he wants to chase the lawyer, he will have to get out of the wheel form, vault the window, and if he has a confined space, then he could chase the lawyer here, or otherwise he could also chase the acrobat, but acrobat will be a very difficult chase. So we could expect a female chase, a female dancer chase here.
Yeah, that most likely will probably be the case. I'm just thinking, if they can catch the Weeping Clown off guard as well, especially if the Weeping Clown doesn't really realize that you can't really use the rocket against the wheel form, it could be possible that they, whatchamacallit?
The rocket?
Yeah, the rocket. Like, if they can't really, like, use the rocket in time, I feel like it might, catch them off guard. But we are going to be seeing this hunter go, oh, and it's a pause. Never mind.
Well, looks like someone might have loaded late into the game. One might have disconnected. So one thing to notice here is that Acrobat actually spawned closer to the graveyard window than to the two-story area. So originally I said that Acrobat Chase would be very difficult, just because the two-story area is very hard for the wheel, and the middle two-story area has a drop down and a window as well. But because the acrobat spawned far away from it, yeah, he could just straight up chase the acrobat here. And yeah, it looks like he's gonna chase the acrobat using the red bomb immediately. And yeah, he does have a slow box here. I'm trapping. I'm getting the first spike on the acrobat, getting the second spike. He could get an instant knockdown using the trap, and acrobat is gonna use the ball. He is going to use it. Wow, using it just in time. This could completely turn the game around. Tram is blocking the trap, and it looks like he's going to change the target here.
Yeah, going to be changing target onto the female dancer. Female dancer has a lot of boxes to work around, but is going to be taken away. But the slow box really dealing the damage towards Breaking Wheel's speed here, since it's going to be it's going to have to use the blink there. But even though the it wasn't necessarily the quickest down, there's just not enough ciphers. Like, it might be there just wasn't enough ciphers done. They're at 30, 40. Gonna use the rocket, but the rocket means absolutely nothing when when it's the wheel, and now we're gonna be seeing the Oh, okay. Another interesting thing I just noticed: they haven't brought insolence. They've brought trump card detention, which is not it's not a common build on the breaking wheel. You normally see like the oh, yeah, this is gonna be a spike. Yeah, there you go. And now gonna get rid of the boxes here as one. I mean, this is a really good start for this breaking wheel, actually. You know, all things considered.
Yeah, looks like being able to chair the dancer for the second time. He was not able to get the injury on the whipping clown, and 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 that is one unfortunate fact for the hunter. But other than that, he has a very good cipher control here. Looks like Acrobat will be coming in for the rescue here. They do need a lot of cipher machines. Will having no clue where the acrobat's coming from. He just pulls in and gets the rescue without even being spotted. And yeah, he's messing up a lot of controls actually.
Oh, is it
Going
like,
after
oh
the
my god!
wrong yeah, going after the wrong survivor.
Yeah, going after the wrong survivor. Now eventually found the female dancer here, but that's actually given the survivors so much time to decode. One cipher on 70, one of them on 50, and the other one nearing that over 50% mark. And now, I mean, they could just realistically, yeah, they can just snap here. Not gonna be able to get the trap down, but that is at the very least, sorry, yeah, that is at the very least one person down, one person sent back to the manor. Now they need to get all of the remaining three. You know, Acrobat have, you know, being a little bit more of a difficult chase here, since again you do not have that insolence to work with. In my opinion, he does need to just go for the one spikes here. He needs to try and will get that spike. Will now be on full presence, but the ciphers are so close to being done. Well, that one cipher is actually so close to being done. You can't be pulled away from that cipher. You need to be going for that other one. And now you're looking over here. Can they pop it in time? Are they going to pop it in time? No! Wait! Yes! No! Oh my god!
I mean,
Oh no!
Lawyer
No!
did get a flywheel, and yeah, he flywheeled a little bit late, and Clown is coming into his stand. Oh wow, cancels the recovery speed, and is he gonna pop the cipher? Yeah, he is. However, Lawyer does not actually have a borrow time, so now this could still be a tie here, or he could just go for the Acrobat here. Acrobat cannot open the gate in time. Yeah, so I was going to be their plan. It'll it looks like he's going after the Acrobat here.
Oh my god, Acrobat could just get snapped down, and then the Weeping Clown has to go in for the rescue now. Weeping Clown doesn't. Well, wait, Weeping Clown just gets the rescue off. He just gets the free rescue. Wait, no, he doesn't, because he's actually over a dancing geisha now, heading over into the middle, and now this is a wait. This might be a 4K because the wait, but the wheel, what? The wheel doesn't fire. Oh my god, the wheel hasn't found. Now they have, and now not in the range. Run into the trap. That's gonna be the down. Can leave the other player on the ground, and now this is the Weeping Clown just trying to hide as much as possible, but they can't really go anywhere because they're lagging. Oh wait, oh no. Now Acrobat has to Acrobat just has to like stay around. Acrobat has to try and dude, Acrobat just needs to. Okay, Lawyer will get back up. Lawyer is going to be making their way over, and you know, are they gonna? Oh, but they're not gonna. They just overshot massively, and they haven't found the Lawyer. The Weeping Clown is gonna get rescued here, and this could be it.
Yeah, it looks like going after the lawyer. Oh, hold on a second. He has teleport. He's going to use the teleport, trying to down the whipping clown here. Now, lawyer does not actually have a self-heal anymore, so they will have to go back and heal him before the clown can get the knockdown here. He needs a second spike here. He's going to use the speed boost. Yeah, but the snap is on a cooldown, so he has to normally down him here, and will be able to get the trap. Does get the knockdown on the whipping clown. It looks like they are going to get the heal off, and the whipping clown does still have a self heal, so this could be very difficult for the breaking wheel. And yes, somebody is hiding here, but he gets found out instantly. Extending spikes miss actually. Acrobat has a flywheel, so he is going to, yeah, he was unable to use the flywheel there and will be going down. And he's going for the chair here. Yeah, this is his first chair. So yeah, anything could happen here. Is he gonna go after the whipping clown? Survivors, they really want the tie going after the lawyer who is pushing the gate. He's gonna get the
Oh, they
gate.
can't reach it!
They get the
Oh
gate
no!
open. Is he giving up? No, he just emoted. It looks like going back to the chair. He will be able to cut off the clown actually, but clown will be able to get the rescue. Could not spike anyone. Gets the knockdown on the clown, and the clown doesn't have a self heal. He could just lag. This is going to be a 3-man elimination. It looks like we might see a round 4.
We won't be seeing a round 4 actually because they needed a 4K for a round 4. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. We'll get the down, and they can just surrender here. They've won the game, and it's just very unfortunate that I feel like you know that they're on half health. You don't need a second spike on them. I feel like they wanted to get the second spike, but they really didn't need a second spike on them, and now that's really unfortunate for Stars. I mean, the end game was actually action packed, very action packed, and we are going to be seeing a win, a last gap win if anything for the Kitty Cats. And I mean, what a performance from both sides. That end game was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, so congratulations to us Stars for winning in a very close matchup here, and yeah, they really turned the game around. We saw 3 rounds. That game really looked a little bit messy. Both teams tried their best, but Stars Hunter, they're coming out at the top and winning the match.
Yeah, what a match. It would have been amazing to see how it would have been in overtime, but alas, it's not to be. But you know, congratulations to Team Kitty Cats and commiserations to Stars. But every single one of these players put up such a good performance today, and I feel like every one of them can be definitely proud of how they did.
Yeah, so this was one of the best matches I could have commentated here. We saw so many interesting things. The best thing I saw here was probably the journalist blocking two different wines with one Orpheus. That's something that I have never seen before, and I think that was the most amazing thing. And yeah, once again, congratulations to TKC for winning with 15 points to Stars. This says 12 points. Very close match here from both teams.
Yeah, it was really close. I believe we are going to be ending it here. I think this is the end of week 2. I think. Not entirely too sure, but I believe this is going to be the end of this matchup. I don't know if there's any other matchups, but I've been Lolsey. He's been Zarata. We've been commentating this matchup. I mean, what a matchup it's been. Big ups to both teams, and do you have any final words?
Yeah, just that I really enjoyed commentating this very intense and close matchup, and thank you guys all for coming. Um, this was end of season 2, and make sure you guys are stay tuned for next week. We will be having two very interesting matches next week, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Otherwise, this was Losey and Sarata commentating, and we will see you guys later. Have a great day.